Hey, Coach. How different is this week of prep as you're facing three guys who are elite at getting to the quarterback?
That's a good question. We always are going to try to think about the best players on the opposing team's defense, and that goes into our game planning just as much as our players, right? Of trying to get our players the ball and our playmakers the ball in the run and the pass game and do what we do best. Well, we also got to think about what they do best as well. So I know Frank and I have had a ton of experience together. We played in that AFC West together when Khalil Mack was with the Raiders, and Justin Houston was with the Chiefs, and we played and Von Miller was with the Broncos. So we had a ton of experience doing that, and obviously the AFC South has a lot of good pass rushers too. So we're constantly thinking about that. It definitely poses a challenge, but constantly thinking about that, and it's in our preparation each week when we play players like this.
Bob Kravitz.
Yeah, hi Nick. Frank talked yesterday about the Compartment Syndrome. Mentioned that you had experience with it. Can you sort of take us through what it is, how it impacted you, and just what the whole thing's about?
Sure. Yeah. Michael ran an in route, which coincidentally was the same route that I ran when I hurt myself as well. Same way, right leg, just like I was running that same thing. And basically you get that trauma and you get some trauma. Unfortunately, I'm an expert on this subject, but you get some trauma in your leg, and there's nowhere for the swelling to go. I don't know I'm not a trainer or anything, but there's nowhere for the swelling to go, and it has to be relieved some way, some form. And it is pretty serious. You have to relieve the pressure somehow, and their way to relieve the pressure is to relieve the pressure by opening it up. And so I just know that in my experience with it, that I had a really good trainer. His name was Jay Jonas. Hopefully he listens to this, as I owe him a great deal of gratitude. Jay Jonas was our athletic trainer. He noticed the symptoms that I was having that come on later, and they got me to the hospital, and I had no problems, right? Because they were able to open it up. And it seems like what happened here, same situation. We have great trainers, great doctors that were on top of it and saw what was going on and the symptoms that was going on, and were able to handle it. So tribute to, because it can be very serious if you let it go. And so a tribute to my trainer, Jay Jonas, and a tribute to our doctors and trainers for being so on top of that.
Real quick, did it end your football career, or was that?
No, I came back after that and had a different, the reason my compartment syndrome can happen a lot of different ways, as some of us know and some of us don't know, right? My injury was different than Michael's. The one that was happening inside my leg, like I think whatever, it was different. But now I came back and played, and I felt like I was better than ever, to be honest with you, after I came back.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
Bill Erickson.
When you look at third down, Nick, what have been the problems on third down?
Yeah, we are definitely not where we want to be on third down. We have really good personnel to be able to win one-on-one matchups. Our blocking is really outstanding. I just think it's just a bit of a lack of execution of just need to execute better, need to put the players in better positions. It's everybody. It's all of us as a whole, starting with us as coaches, just putting them in better positions to help them do their job, and then just executing versus the different looks that we're getting. So I don't think that it's anything one thing in particular. but we definitely have to be better at it, and it starts with us as coaches.
It's a little bit of a new thing for you guys, though. Normally, you guys are up at the top of the third down range.
Yeah, so it takes us off a little bit, obviously. So again, just gotta grind to work to continue to get better there.
Zach Kiefer.
Hey, Nick. In the spring, you were pretty jazzed up talking about getting the deep ball going with TY. And, there have been some, but it doesn't feel like a staple of your guys' offense right now. And I know you guys are winning easily the last 2 weeks and you do what's working, but is that a concern? And how do you get that going?
Yeah, I don't think that's a concern, Zach. We're gonna have plays that go to TY each week. We know that the offense runs through TY and the pass offense runs through TY and getting him the football. So we're just going to continue to do what we do as far as planning it and practicing it and planning it against the different looks that we're getting, and it'll get going. It will. I have no doubt about that it'll get going, and we'll get that part of our game going.
Mike Chop.
And Nick, back on the third down briefly, and again, it's everybody, but if you look at it, Phillips' numbers are really, really contrasting first, second down, and third and fourth down. Is there something that he's not doing right, or is 3 games too short of a sample size to draw any conclusions?
I think Phillips been playing outstanding in all areas, first, second, third down. So let me say that first, but it definitely is. I think it's definitely too early to just abandon any of our philosophies or anything like that. It is a small sample size, and we've had a tough stretch to start off the season. So it's definitely nothing that Phillips doing. Again, it's just us as coaches putting them in the right position, and then the execution. It really is. So nothing that anyone's doing in particular. We just all have to be better. Again, it starts with us as coaches.
Kevin Bowen.
Nick, obviously Jonathan's given you a whole lot, and you guys are giving him a big workload right now. When you've watched these last 2 games, what have you seen from him vision-wise here in these 2 starts?
Yeah, I think he's done a great job. I thought he ran there was heavy boxes all day on Sunday, and I think Jonathan did a great job of, getting some of those runs out of there. I think he's seeing it good. I think he's running a variety of different runs that he's executing well. So no complaints about Jonathan and the way he's been running the football. I think he's been doing an outstanding job running the football. And same thing with Jordan, and same thing with Naheem. I saw it well, and and got the yards that were there for him.
Jim Ayala.
Nick, just a couple questions for you about Mo. First, just what do the guys have to say to him after watching that play where he couldn't quite decide where he wanted to go?
There's a couple different, depending on the guy who's talking to him. TY's fast, so TY said, "Why don't you outrun him right there?" But a lot of different things, like it was first of all, that was a heck of a football play. Let me just state that, like, the protection by Mark Lewinsky and Quentin Nelson and the rest of the offense line, but those 2 guys did something extremely special there. And then Phillip, just moving on in his progression and hitting Mo. So it was an outstanding football play all the way around. So TY probably had that comment to say. I know my comment was, well, I wouldn't want to tackle him right there with his big body running at me. So a lot of different comments. They were busting his chops a little bit, but 45-yard gain, we'll take it.
And I know you mentioned this last week, but again, I guess it bears repeating, especially with Trey maybe on the way back. What's going to be the emphasis, I guess, in keeping Mo involved in the passing game?
Yeah, we have to continue to keep him involved. He's made too many plays to say, okay, now Mo, you take a back seat. Mo's going to be involved. We plan for Mo. We want to get him the football, and we have a variety of ways of the way we want to get it. We know what he does well, and we know what he excels at, and those are going to be the ways we continue to try to get Mo the football.
George Bremer.
Last week, Coach Reich said that Zach not Zach Pascal, sorry, Maurice Fountain had really good practices and made some big plays out there. Do you feel confident as his role is going to expand here, most likely in the next week?
I definitely do. Yeah, we talk about this as a staff, and we talk about this to our players constantly. Like, hey, when practice looks good, you usually play good. When a play looks good in practice, it usually looks good in a game. When a play looks good in practice, it gives us confidence as coaches to call it and be excited about calling it. So, and that's no different between plays and players. Reese has looked good in practice. Reese looked good all training camp. Reese looked good last training camp. So we got a lot of confidence in him. And that just continues to grow each day we're out there because he practices hard and he plays hard. And we're excited. I'm excited for him, for this opportunity for him.
And last question, Phil B.
Okay, Coach. Wanted to ask you about receivers. Obviously, the position was decimated by injuries last year. You've had some guys go down this year. The question is, with those studious classes, are you a worrier, or do you block that out and not worry about the health of the position and say, well, it's an opportunity for someone else if someone goes down? Do you think that way?
Yeah, I think, right, when you lose playmakers that we've lost, in Paris and in Michael for this week, you definitely you have to think about it, right? You have to think about it. And you always gotta, right? It's just like I think I said this last week about when someone asked a question about Paris, like, how do you replace his production? Well, it's not just one guy replaces Paris's production, right? And it's not just going to be one guy that replaces Michael production. It's going to be by committee of what these guys do the best. So something that TY does really well, then he takes that. Something that Zach does really well, he takes that. And if it's Reese, then he takes that. So it's not we're thinking about it a lot because that's just what we do as coaches. We try to put our guys in best positions that they can be in to make football plays. Do we worry about it? I don't think we can. I just think it's just we definitely think about it, because we have to, but worrying about it, we're ready. These guys are ready. The guys that Chris Ballard and his staff have given us as backups are good talents that would play at a lot of places. So, I'm excited about their opportunity because I know they'll be successful when they go out there because they're ready to go. Mike Groh does a great job of coaching them. Chris Ballard and his staff did a great job of getting these players in here. And, we practice really hard. I say that. I feel like I say that every week. We practice really hard. So guys know that, and they have no choice but to get better. So, they're going to be ready, and I'm excited for an opportunity. Obviously, we're going to miss, and I tell Paris this. I've told Paris this last week. We're going to miss you. There's no doubt about it. You're a great playmaker. We're going to miss you. Marlon Mack, we're going to miss you. So there's no doubt about it. But excited for these guys' opportunity and confident in these guys big time.